Welcome back to our call. It is 11:35 on the East Coast of the United States. It was the wrong button I pushed. Welcome. It's 11:35 on the East Coast of the United States of America, and that means it's time for the industry's #1 performance coaching wake-up call to begin. I'm absolutely delighted to see that our lines are filling up for another record-breaking day within the Morning Ignition community. And we had a great call yesterday with Andrea Cox from San Diego, California, from the Healthy Haven. Wonderful call. I thought the content was absolutely delightful and informative. And if you missed that call, you can always go back and listen to our recordings on our SoundCloud profile at soundcloud.com/morningignition. And I hope that you'll make an absolute commitment to join us again tomorrow. Mr. Brian Ridgway from the great state of Hawaii joins us. And Brian, to be succinctly described, has the most transformational experience that you can possibly imagine in a 25-minute segment. It's profound and it's a breakthrough. So it is an absolute must that you will commit to attending tomorrow, simply because it's a call that you can't afford to miss if you're ready to make the next 12 months an absolute breakthrough year. Our guest on the call today is Katrina Starzhynskaya also from the San Diego, California area. But before we bring her out, I want to just get the call and the motivation going, simply because our guest again today is completely congruent and authentic with our credo here, and that is to raise the bar and move all of humanity forward to greater levels of awareness and consciousness and realization of what's truly possible in a split second, a blink of an eye for our lives, once that light bulb or that aha moment goes off, and then obviously with the standard of raising the bar on the entire industry forever. I'd like to read from the Motivation Manifesto, which is Brendan Burchard's #1 New York Times bestseller. It was recently released. And this talks about reclaiming our agenda. He says, "We have ceded control of our daily lives. Amid incessant distraction, our discipline in pursuing high ambitions has vanished. The white space of a free day seems unfathomable because we have become hypnotized by a false but compelling need to respond to all of the needs of others. We are pulled from every angle, torn from meaningful efforts by frivolous pursuits or false emergencies, and we are often unsure how to balance our lives with the needs of those we love. We are too often detached from what is most worth fighting for. Our busy work consumes our day, but it is not our life's work. Most do not feel a stark, stirring life purpose. They don't hunger for it in the morning or orient their day to its pursuit. A life of greater joy, power, and satisfaction awaits those who consciously design their life, and for this we now declare, we shall regain our agenda." As I pointed out, our very special and authentic and congruent guest on this call today is author and iconic brand advisor, serial eco-preneur, fashion model and fitness instructor, yoga coach, and more, Katrina Starzhynskaya. Katrina is a best-selling author, and we'll get into this incredible book and this pursuit of health and wellness and disease prevention and cures, of which I'm absolutely amazed. Again, this is a mind, money, body community, and it's absolutely congruent. But Katrina is also the founder of Health Mastery Retreat. She's a public speaker, a serial eco-preneur, and also a yoga and fitness instructor, an avid tennis player, and a fashion model. After being diagnosed with Lyme disease, Katrina realized that Western medicine had failed her, and medical doctors had no clue on how to treat Lyme and other degenerative diseases. In fact, she went on to pursue graduate studies at the Pacific College of Oriental Medicine, and she just rejected the tag of being incurable and healed herself with radical lifestyle changes and holistic treatments. Today, Katrina helps people reverse these chronic illnesses by offering guidance with drug-free treatments. Her books are endorsed by luminaries like Sir Richard Branson, Robert Kiyosaki, Laurel Langmeyer, Bill Walls, David E. Stanley, and many others, while also being featured on the Huffington Post and with Dr. Oz. So with that out of the way, it's my absolute pleasure to welcome to our Morning Ignition Wake Up to Success call, Katrina Starzhynskaya. My lady, how art thou this morning?
Hey, how are you? I'm doing fantastic.
Well, excellent. And I absolutely, by the way, love the accent. You arrived here in the United States in 1998, and we got into a little bit of an introduction about your background yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But for those of the hundreds of people that have dialed in on this call right now, if you don't mind, give us a little bit about your background and bio and how you got to this iconic brand advisor and eco-preneur today. And before you get started, I want to invite everyone to, you can go on Facebook and you can just do a search for Katrina Starzhynskaya, Katrina Stars with a Z, and it'll pop up. The last name is kind of the last name is kind of an alphabet soup. But go on Facebook and search for Katrina Starzhynskaya, and we'll give her website out in just a little bit. But take us back just a little bit and give us, you arrived here in 1998, and now you're in Southern California.
Absolutely.
Living the dream. What's going on in life?
Absolutely. Thank you for such an amazing introduction, Jason. So I arrived in 98 to go to high school, and then I've decided to go to business school because I wanted to make money and be successful. And after going to business school, I was also interested in health and wellness. So I was not really happy and fulfilled with just only business, especially how they train us in business school. It's more corporate structured life. So I was always been an entrepreneur. So even if in my early 20s I was fitness instructor, I was able to find way to hire other people work for me. So it was something small, but still already my entrepreneurial career started. And then I was looking for more ways to educate myself and to learn more about my body and the body-mind connection. So this is how I ended up in the School of Oriental Medicine, because I was just fascinated by Eastern philosophy and medicine and the way our bodies work. So I went to study acupuncture and herbal treatment. And at the same time, I was still running my fitness and yoga business in New York City. And while I was in med school, one day I woke up with a so-called mysterious disease when half of my face was paralyzed, half of my body was numb. I was in excruciating pain and in total shock. And I ended up in the emergency room, and doctors had no idea what was wrong with me. So they just sent me home with an idiopathic condition, which means no known cause and no cure. And then I was getting sicker and sicker, and I was going from a doctor to doctor, and they told me nothing was wrong with me. It was all in my head. I was fabricating stuff, that I was stressed. Some doctor told me just get a boyfriend. So it was absolutely
Get a boyfriend. Insane. Now that's a good diagnosis from a doctor. I've heard it all now.
Yeah, good prescription. Yes. And besides physical things, I started developing cognitive symptoms, like I would not be able to recall my own phone number or forget where I just parked my car. And according to the doctors, it was still all in my head. And about maybe a few months later, I was taken by ambulance into emergency room because I was so sick. And after 12 hours of testing, I was about to be released home again without any known cause of my symptoms. But not even a doctor, a resident told me that I could have Lyme disease. And I was so happy. At that moment, I was extremely happy because finally I knew what was wrong with me. I had diagnosis, and I thought I would be able to take care of it. And then I was happy just for the next 15 minutes till I Googled Lyme, and I knew I had a long road ahead of me. So it took me about 3.5 years to heal myself, and doctors basically told me that it was a late stage chronic Lyme disease and it wasn't curable, and I would be bedridden for the rest of my life. So I decided that my goal is to regain my health back, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to help my body heal itself. And the most pivotal moment for me was at my first Tony Robbins event. When we were doing firewalk, I have decided to myself that if I'm going to be able to walk on fire without burning myself on hot coals, it means that my body is such a miraculous machine. It's capable of anything. So at that moment, I made a decision. If I walk on fire and I don't burn myself, it means my body is able to heal myself from Lyme disease, from anything. And when I walked, and of course I didn't burn myself, everything was fine. Something just switched in my mind, and I was starting getting better and better. Of course, not just by itself. I was still doing a lot of holistic treatments and meditating and a lot of juicing and the plant-based diet. So I was helping my body, assisting my body in healing itself. But that was first step was mindset. Everything starts in your mind. And after I healed myself, and actually that's why I moved to San Diego, because New York City was not a best place for healing. So the environment was too harsh for me, and I've decided to move to San Diego just to promote healing and relax for like 6 months, and I never went back, so I love it here so much. And now I'm healthy and happy, and I launched a book, as you have mentioned, Katrina's Recovery, about my healing journey, how I have healed myself from Lyme, and this book is also step-by-step guide how you can heal basically from any disease, because your body is able to heal itself. You just need to take proper steps and assist it with healing. And I also started helping other people launch books because it's fun and books can change somebody's life. And that led me to other ventures like online marketing, because I had to learn how to market my own book and services. And from that, I'm working on a venture right now. It's new yoga mats and just new yoga line. And that everything just evolves from one venture to the other. And I'm still very excited about, I don't know what's coming next, but I'm very excited about my next project and what it will bring.
Well, absolutely. You've sat down literally and interviewed more billionaires than I've ever met. And obviously it sounds like you're just getting started. One of the things that you've posted on your Instagram, and you shared the same picture on Facebook, is that it's paraphrasing what we call the slide edge principle. And it's just small incremental steps. When you take action on them every single day, they produce insanely huge rewards compounded over time. It's just the slight little steps every single day. Whether you wake up and say, I'm going to cure myself of this disease, and you take one small step after the other and you apply it to medical school and get in, or whether you go to a Tony Robbins event and do a fire walk and then the light bulb goes off, aha, this is going to change my life.
Yes.
Because here's the thing. I went to medical school. I say this all the time. I went to medical school in a, quote, previous life in 2002, and people ask me all the time, why are you not a doctor practicing in the emergency room today? Because I got in the business of trying to help people live rather than to keep them from dying. But that's a different story. But if those of you who are listening and just dialed in, we're talking to Katrina Starzhynskaya. She has got a book on Amazon. It's called Katrina's Recovery from a Mysterious Disease. It's the premise of the book is kissing your Lyme, CSF, fibromyalgia, and other of these, quote, invisible illnesses goodbye. And it's a very inspiring and transformational discovery, and she's obviously alluded to it already. So go to Amazon if you'd like. Purchase Katrina's Recovery from a Mysterious Disease, and if you're a Kindle Unlimited subscriber, you can even read most of it for free. So
Absolutely.
You've covered a lot of stuff already, but there's a couple of things that I want to get to, simply because not only have you realized the benefits of health and wellness. We know that you're a yoga instructor. You've got a new yoga line coming out. You've done all of this.
Yes.
You're kind of this self-made woman, right, that's come over with nothing but a hope and a dream and just really kind of got inspired by one of the darkest places of your life. In other words, you get Lyme disease. And, for example, going to medical school, people ask me for medical advice all the time. And my grandmother yesterday had a friend who says, I've got a lady's face, one of my lady's friends, her face, the left side is kind of paralyzed and da-da-da-da-da. And it was immediately describing what you're alluding into with these early on symptoms of Lyme disease. And the doctors had already misdiagnosed her with having myasthenia gravis, which you're probably familiar with. That's where you get that facial droop. Guess what? They don't know what it is, and it's not myasthenia gravis. They've tested her for that, but now hearing your story, it makes me very curious. Anyway, so you've built this entire line. You've interviewed more billionaires than I've ever met. Let alone, you know what I mean? I mean, this is total access. You've published a book. You've developed these yoga lines in all kinds of different businesses and ventures. But you've not only become an expert marketer, sharing this story and how they can launch a successful book and develop a successful and very authoritative online brand, but you do it in a way that's balanced. And this is what I really like, because on one of your previous Facebook timeline covers, you've got your picture and Katrina there, and underneath it says health, mindset, and success. And obviously this is a mind, money, body community, so it's in total alignment. But so you do all of this understanding a well-balanced life. You obviously have this great lifestyle, going around the world on private jets and driving Porsches and carrying expensive purses. But tell us a little bit about what that life balance is for you and why it's so important and how we can kind of implement that and just make sure that that's part of our daily practice.
Absolutely. So I have daily rituals, especially morning rituals. So when I wake up, I always jump on my trampoline.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Before you get started, because I was going to allude to this. Daily morning rituals. Daily morning. So this is why I say this is a very congruent call with this community. Health, mindset, success, mind, money, body, daily rituals. I mean, this is what it's all about. So I love other people, this community, hearing it directly from you. Daily morning rituals. Okay, go.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I wake up, I immediately put on loud music that wakes me up, and I jump on my trampoline, and I always say something aloud. So this is not just affirmations, but this is more aloud statements, incantations. I'm healthy, I'm successful, I'm having an amazing day today. And when I say that, I have a smile on my face. And I think I trained myself so much that when I'm saying it right now, I'm having a smile on my face. So
that's very interesting. No, that's absolutely profound. I say it so much with a smile on my face that I can just say it right now and I have a smile on my face. One of the most powerful things that people can do is just set an alarm on their phone every time they get an email that something will go off and just a smile and breathe, smile and breathe. I'm sorry.
Yes, of course. So that's what I do, and then I always have a glass of water with lemon, so it starts my day. And only after that, I do something else, like if I need to check my email. So before I do those two rituals, I never touch my phone or my emails. And also one of my rituals is to kind of exercise or move my body every single day. It doesn't mean you have to go to the gym and pump weights, but maybe you want to go for a walk or do yoga or just a small jog or anything you like, dance, playing tennis, something, because if as entrepreneurs, we live basically sedentary lifestyle and we are getting stressed and our body getting so tense. So it's great to take 30 to 45 minutes to an hour and do something, and your body will stay healthy, and it will also change your state immediately. So if you're in a lousy state after a workout, you change your state. As Tony Robbins says, emotion is created by motion. So as soon as you get stressed or anxious or depressed, just move your body and your emotions will follow. And so that's how I balance to stay energized and healthy every day, as well as sometimes you have to pick and choose between time for your business or time for your family. And you just need to schedule it. You just need to schedule time for your family or friends. Otherwise, you can stay by our laptops or working 12 hours a day, so I'm guilty of that. So yeah, it's all about balance, and you have to schedule that, and then it becomes then those things become your rituals, and you just do them every day, and they become non-negotiable, and nothing else can substitute them. So that's how I keep balance.
I absolutely love it. I mean, daily morning rituals, the way that you start your day is pretty much, it's going to determine how you end your day. Yeah. I mean, in other words,
absolutely,
if you start your day with momentum, which is a healthy morning ritual that works for you, which is, like you said, hydration, nutrition, moving your body, that really determines the physiology, that state that and that emotion that, well, like you said, Tony Robbins, motion creates emotion. The first step, the hardest step is the first step, and it's actually just programming yourself, just like I'm so happy and grateful and you have a smile on your face. The same is true with your daily morning routines, because you're on the path of productivity and high performance that day. I absolutely love it.
Yes.
We're approaching the top of the hour, and so our time is getting cut short. But our guest today is Katrina Starzhynskaya. You can connect with her on Facebook, but go on the web and do a search for Katrina Starzhynskaya if the alphabet soup is too much. But but you can find her at Katrina-Starzhynskaya.com, and obviously subscribe to her newsletter. She's got new guided meditations. Her YouTube blog is obviously absolutely free, and just follow the girl's journey, if nothing else. I mean, she's got this new yoga line coming out, but you can also find a link to purchase her book on Amazon as Katrina heals herself from a mysterious disease and more. Every entrepreneur's favorite topic, Katrina, is marketing, right? Every entrepreneur's favorite topic is marketing. And being a self-made woman into running a multi-million-dollar business, coming here, in 1998, Lyme disease, going to medical school, and all these other types of things. You wrote this book and then had to learn how to actually do stuff. Well, so you know what it's like to walk in the shoes of a new entrepreneur who is just getting started. We've talked about the morning rituals, but personally, I have marketing rituals. You have to learn new things every day, but you also have a marketing ritual that works for you. Let's talk a little bit about marketing and how you've grown this brand, how you help other entrepreneurs take it to the next level.
I'm so happy you asked. I was thinking, why is Jason repeating, I met so many billionaires, but he's not asking how. So, my best marketing advice would be building relationships, because you can learn everything about marketing in theory or something like, sales funnels on Facebook ads. But relationship is the best marketing, and this is how I build basically my businesses on building relationships. And you don't need to be somebody famous or have some new incredible invention. Just be yourself and build relationships with people, successful people in your industry, and they will take you somewhere. You never know how one person can change your life. So basically how I approached everybody is I find them online, somewhere on social media, Facebook or Instagram, mostly Facebook, and I start a conversation, I follow them, and slowly this is how I build relationships on that side, online, and then I meet those people in person. And my second secret is I always Google who is coming to San Diego, or I Google, for example, I want to meet Richard Branson, so I Google which event he will be speaking at, and sometimes it's not very cheap to fly out and see him, but I was lucky he was twice in San Diego, so basically for me it was absolutely free to meet him. And do research on a person you would like to meet, and make sure when you approach them, you always offer to add value, something they need. And you might think, well, what can Richard Branson need from me? So Richard Branson obviously has a Virgin United, is a nonprofit organization, and he is heavily involved in carbon borrowing, saving environment. And I'm also passionate about saving environment and being eco-friendly. So I've made a pitch especially for Richard Branson that I would like to sit down with him and get an interview. Just 10 minutes of his time can inspire and empower thousands of people that follow him. And that way, 10 minutes of his time can change lives, and it can change mindset. And those thousands of people will become health conscious, eco-conscious, and that way we can help environment. So I always find the person, and then I find their passion and what they stand for, and I offer something that will add value to them and add value to their community, and that's way how I meet them. And at the end, those people are always, oh, I love the interview. Here is my number. Can you please call me when it's done or email it to me? So by the end of 10-15 minutes, I become friends with them. And it's super easy. First, I also was intimidated. Maybe I had low self-esteem because I thought those people will never talk to me. But now I know that we are all the same. We are all valuable people, and we always can add value to somebody else's life.
You bring up a lot of stuff there. Let me start with the very end of what you just said. Low self-esteem.
Okay.
I think most of us all suffer from that at least once in our lives, yeah? And we all just feel insignificant. But you quickly go on to say, it's super easy. And the reality is that I can vouch 100,000% for what you've just outlined and described as it works, it works, it works. You don't necessarily have to be a master at generating 50 or 100 leads into your sales funnel every day. If you've just got appropriate relationships and if you're just being cool with the people that you want to surround yourself with. You start out with social media. Just be cool, right? And be selective on who you surround yourself with. And then you go really, really big. If there's someone that you really want to meet and greet and add value to, you're even willing to jump on an airplane, fly across the country, and you search them out, even with Richard Branson, of all people. He owns like 41 companies, and they're each worth several hundred millions of dollars. But then the last thing that you point out is provide value for that person. Now, a lot of times people will be intimidated, and they'll say, I don't know how to provide value for Richard Branson. But you point out that just find a commonality, find a passionate interest. And if it's something that they're passionately interested in getting off the ground, for example, we all need help when it comes to launching new ideas. You can't launch a yoga products company without surrounding yourself with valuable and profitable relationships. I've said this before. Relationships equals value, equals trust, and equals money. Or, excuse me, relationships equal trust, equals value, equals money. So relationships, don't get sidetracked on relationships and profitable relationships and saying, relationships don't have to equal money. Or listen, relationships equal trust, equals value, equals money. Anyway, so we're at the top of the hour. Katrina Starzhynskaya is with us on the line. You can search for her and connect on Facebook or go to Katrina-Starzhynskaya.com. The link to her website will be posted with the recording of this call on our SoundCloud profile on YouTube and in our Facebook group and page, of course. Katrina, you've offered a lot of value already to us, but do one quick thing. Give us 3 things that we can apply in our life and business to get a monumental transformational benefit and result today. That puts you on the spot. This is the first time we've ever even had a conversation like this.
Absolutely.
Give us
I
top
would
3
say things. You have to create your rituals, because your rituals define who you are. And then build relationships with other people and always know that you are worthy. You can add tremendous value. Don't listen to anybody. You are worthy.
Rituals, relationships, self-worth.
Yes.
Love it. Absolutely believe in that 100,000%. And so, listen, Katrina, you've been absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much for volunteering your time and providing so much value for our community. And we hope you'll come back and maybe even sit down for a longer period of time in the future. Yes?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're awesome. Join us again tomorrow. Our recording will be posted for this call later on. If you want to, listen to it again, take some notes and apply it to your life. But I think it's pretty straightforward and simple, isn't it? Rituals, relationships, and working on your own self-worth, total alignment and congruence here. Move your body, hydrate yourself, pay attention to the foods that you eat, and provide value to the marketplace. It just simply can't be more easy than to understand than that. Join us again tomorrow. Brian Ridgway from the great state of Hawaii, Level 5 Mentor, joins us back on this call. Same bat time, same bat channel. And for Katrina Starzhynskaya and I, this call, it is a wrap.